The teak is always obviously something that everybody sees and you see all the time, so it's nice when it looks nice, but it's also one of those things when it looks bad, it looks bad.
Hi, I'm Natalie and this is James, and welcome aboard our floating home Zephyr. Over the past 5 years, we've been on an incredible journey sailing around the world, accompanied by our 2 trusty dog crew members, Flint and Kira. Join us every Friday for a new video documenting our adventures. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the journey.
All right, well, hello everybody. Today is another amazing day and we have got a huge project we are going to undertake over the next couple days. And that is the Teak, our tow rails, not the Teak seats, but the Teak tow rails that go all the way around the outside of the boat. It's like 43 linear feet down each side, so we've got 86 feet of teak. We need to sand, wood fill, sand again, and then I think we're gonna stain this time. We did varnish the last couple seasons and it hasn't gone down too well. So the varnish does look amazing. I mean, it just shines, oh, it looks so good, but there's 2 issues for us with the varnish, and it has nothing to do with the actual varnish itself. It's just something that we've noticed that maybe is not right for us. The first thing is the varnish does require a lot more maintenance. You have to keep it up, keep reapplying it, and it can get a bit patchy if it falls off. And then the second reason that we're gonna go with a stain over varnish this time, and probably the most important reason, is the varnish is slippery when you put your feet on it and it's wet. Now, you might ask, why is that so important? Well, we go forward sometimes, we're putting the whisker pole up, or we're doing something with the spinnaker or something like that. And if your tow rails are wet, and there's oftentimes I'll sit down and I'll wedge my foot up on that, especially if it's wet, or you need to go along the side deck, or the high side or the low side, and it's wet, and you use those tow rails to brace yourself as you go along, and they're wet. I've found, whether I got shoes on or bare feet, I've slipped, and I've actually really hurt my feet a couple times, so has Nat. So for us, it really becomes a safety thing as well. So when we used to stain the tow rails, I mean, they looked great, but most importantly, they were really grippy under our feet, whether we had shoes or bare feet. And the stain actually fared better. It required less maintenance. As it started to wear away, it was more even. It didn't patch or anything like that. It just sort of weared away more gradually, back to the sort of the raw teak. So I think for that reason, we're gonna go back to stain this time. So yeah, well, I've got some sanding to do. We'll wipe it down. We're gonna hit it with the wood filler, let that dry, and then we're gonna sand it again, and then we'll be ready for the stain. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. It's cooled down a lot. We went from having like 25-degree days the last, I don't know, 2 weeks, to I think it's probably about 10 degrees. So we've halved our temperature. That's why I got the jacket on. I'm in long pants and shoes. So this is crazy. But I'm really excited to do this. The teak is always obviously something that everybody sees and you see all the time. So it's nice when it looks nice, but it's also one of those things when it looks bad, it looks bad. So yeah, we're gonna have at it. Let's go. Let's get to sanding. right, so it's going pretty good. Look at this. Well, good morning, everybody. It is the next day, and yesterday went okay. It didn't quite go as planned. I wanted to get both sides sanded. Unfortunately, I'm only down to one battery on my sander. Only lasts a few minutes, so I have to sand, charge, sand, charge. So we got the starboard side rail all sanded up, which is great. And then today we're going to try and get more done. We're going to try and get the port side rail sanded, and then we're going to do all the filler. I also tried a small test patch with the filler I bought last night before I went to bed. So we're going to check on that this morning, see if the filler's still good. Sometimes these wood fillers, when you store them, they can go bad, air gets into them, that kind of thing, and they just don't work very well anymore. We've had that happen in the past when we stored wood filler on the boat. We got a cheeky McDonald's coffee this morning because I ran out of cream and milk, and not a huge fan of black coffee. I had one, but it didn't sit right, so I figured since I was out walking the dogs. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish up my coffee here. We're gonna go out, we'll check the wood filler, see if that hardened up nicely. If it did, that's gonna be fantastic. It means we don't have to go buy anymore. And then we're gonna get straight into the sanding. We'll get, like I said, we'll get this port side done, we'll get it sanded up, and then we're gonna go around and we're gonna wood fill all of the rails. Hopefully, I have to double check, it shouldn't need too long. I think it probably only needs about 3 or 4 hours to cure, but I'll double check that and let you guys know. And then once that's done, we just do a light sand, and then we'll be ready for staining. Hopefully we can get everything done today except for the staining. That would be perfect. If we can get a lick of stain on tonight before we go to bed, that would be even better, but we'll see how we go. All right, gonna finish the coffee, dogs are going down for a nap, and we're gonna get started. Well, just my luck, I'm out there sanding and the rain has started. I feel like this job is never gonna get done. Nat and I have been wanting to do these tow rails for so long, and there's always something that seems to get in the way. The good news is, as you saw, the wood filler worked perfect. It hardened up really nicely and it sands really easily. So hopefully we don't get too much rain here, just a little bit, and then we can get back onto it. But I guess for now we're going to, I don't know, find something else to do. All right guys, well, it's the next day. I got rained out completely. It didn't stop, which kind of sucks, but it's the next day. It's quite late in the afternoon. I'm gonna still try and finish off the port side. I got about half of it done. Gonna see if I can get it done now. It's still a little damp in a couple sections, but we'll see how we go. We'll give it a try. If not, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. The dogs are playing with their toys. Let's have at it. All right, well, it's another day. We got rained out again yesterday. We're doing our best. The good thing is the sun is shining. Looks like we got stable weather now for the next couple days, so we should be able to get this all done. So the plan is today we're going to finish up the inside of the tow rails with the sander, and that should be good. And we're gonna hopefully get the wood filler on and get it to that point and we can let that dry. So that's our goal. If we can finish the sanding, get the wood filler on, then we'll consider that a win at this point. and hopefully we can come back and knock the rest of it off. But let's do it. Let's get straight to the sanding. All right, well that didn't take too long. We didn't have too much to do, but we've got it all done. I even took the time to sand these two handrails on either side. I was gonna leave them for another day, but why not, right? I had some battery life left in the sander. But as you can see, we've sanded all 43 feet. This side, starboard side's done. And we managed to do these handrails here. So that's excellent. So I'm gonna get a broom here and I'm gonna give it all a nice big clean, get all that sanding dust out of there. Because when we put the wood filler in, we don't want that mixing with the sanding dust, because that'll just kind of ball up and yeah, that won't be too good. So yeah, let's give it a good clean and get ready for filler. All right, well, we've got it all nicely brushed off. It's good, the wood's dry, which I'm happy about. So now we're gonna put the wood filler on. So we're gonna be using just two things. A nice little scraper, spatula thing, whatever you call it. This is like a 2-inch wide one by the looks of it. This is Elmer's Pro Bond Professional Strength Wood Filler. And the reason we chose this one is it's stainable. So, and it contains real wood fibers. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're gonna try it. And it says it resists shrinking and cracking, works with any paint stain, and it's stainable. Solvent free, works with high-speed sanders. I mean, it ticks all the boxes, so should be all right. Let's get going. So I've never actually done this before, so this is gonna be fun. Let's see how we go. Well, that's my small test patch. Oh, those halyards are annoying. And yeah, I guess that's the way to do it. So typically what I've noticed is these back tow rails and the very forward ones seem to be in the best shape. When I say the very forward ones, we have like a small, like 1.5 foot piece at the front. And that's because they seem to take obviously the least amount of abuse in terms of from feet. But if we move forward, obviously these middle pieces, this one, and then this forward piece here, in terms of like weather, like waves and, you know, me putting my feet on it or Nat putting our feet on it or getting on and off the boat, you know, here where the gate is, they've definitely taken the most abuse for sure. So yeah, the back ones and the very front one look really, really good actually. They still have a nice shape to them. So yeah, so let's, like I said, let's try these problematic ones first. So this particular piece on our boat, this is the worst one. Now, this doesn't happen from sailing. When we had bought the boat, as if you watched our first episode, you'd remember that obviously the mast and rigging had come down. So this piece here actually got damaged by these stanchions being bent and broken. They kind of hit this piece of wood here. I mean, ideally I'd like to replace it, but we don't have it. So we're gonna try and fix up some of these little holes. I tried these little test patches. This is so big, I just don't think you could put, like any filler wouldn't hold in that. I think it's just too big. I could try. There's some sort of grooves here, so we'll hit those, and then if we go forward here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'll show you what happens with these ones. You can see we have these deep, like almost like not splits in the wood, but like the grain has got gaps in it here. Here's a good example. You can see the grain has just kind of got these gaps in it. So like that's what I'm looking for when I mean like the most problematic areas. So let's get the wood filler. All right, well, there we go. We have put all our filler on. We just targeted all the major spots. Nothing was really too major other than that broken bit, but I mean, it's a huge section. So, but yeah, we just hit all the little pinholes and stuff like that. And now we just need to let it dry. Now, how long does that take? Let's check. So with this stuff, it says you can do it within about 2 hours, but I think just to make sure it hardens up really good, because it is a bit cooler out here, it's not very hot, I'm gonna give it the full day. I want it to really get nice and firm. So that's it, guys. We're gonna leave it there for now. We're gonna let that harden up good, and then we will catch you next week when we go for the sanding and staining. It's gonna be a massive process, but one that is just gonna transform these tow rails. I cannot wait. And yeah, stay tuned and you'll get to see what it looks like. All right, guys. If you'd like to be a part of the journey and become a patron, go to the link you see here on the screen. Another way you can support us is by hitting that subscribe button.